Call Lo Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakakadash Barakatah. Double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers on the highways and byways teaching the truth. The truth being Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and the ministry risking our lives to do this. All right, teaching the names faithfully in the Paleo Hebrew, the true names of God, and the Messiah, which is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, we're going to be looking at Ecclesiastes today, and then kind of just going over some things that relate to this captivity that we're in, being so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in America and our respective captivities wherever we are, whatever country we originate. Point Israel, the nation of Israel, the spiritual nation. I'm talking about the 12 tribes. They've been spread to the four corners of the earth, according to the scripture. All right, so examining Ecclesiastes chapter 1. We're coming back to our heritage, but an important thing that we have to understand is that the adversary is in control of the world that we know today. And this world is known as the era, or the time of wickedness, or the time of sin. And this is because the world does not know God, all right, and does not know the correct format in which they can resolve with the Creator. All right, and that's due to the fact that the Lord's people are not in a position of power right now. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are at the end of society in the world we know today. Again, this is all prophecy, because this was for our disobedience to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And this is our God. As Israelites, we deal with him. We deal with Yahweh Shai, I should say, directly. But in the old times, we dealt with Yahweh through an intercessor. For example, that would be like Moses. All right, but the adversary has all kinds of different things put in place to distract brothers in this truth, brothers in this ministry. And the scriptures tell us not to sin, on top of sin, roughly paraphrasing. We're not going to be able to maintain perfection in this flesh. The 144,000 will strive. All right, that word strive, are going to try to follow after the commandments of God. All right, and that the true God and the true identity of the Lord, we know him personally, starting with the elder apostles at Great Millstone, who taught us this spiritual information, through the Spirit. His name's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 2. Vanities of vanities, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit hath the man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. And this is the inward thought. I mean, this is actually the truth, though. The world will last for an eternity. All right, but there's different eras of time in which the earth will be known by what time frame it's in. And right now, again, like I said, according to the scripture, we're in the time of sin and the time of not knowing the Lord. That's why the world identifies God as God and not the direct name or understanding of the identity of the actual hierarchy with what we know of what the world knows is the Bible today. All right, and this is all due to the fact that the self-proclaimed white man has redirected the world's history under his rulership and repainted the image of the Messiah and the image of Christ to be of a so-called Caucasian descent. And then, like with many other things in history since the Renaissance, white supremacy has become dominantly known throughout the world. All right. So one generation passeth away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. All right. So what we're going to realize here is that the era of wickedness is about to be over. All right. We're about to see Armageddon, the end of the world as we would know it in today's society, and then we'll be moved into the era of righteousness. All right, and that's going to be through who the world does not know as the role of Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai, and the 144,000, the elect. This would be of the bloodlines of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and then those bloodlines that stem back to that ethnic origin. All right. You know, some of us don't look like that off physical appearance, but that's again because we were spread to the four corners of the earth. But what we're realizing is a change of generation. We're realizing a change in time that we're moving into, and it's going to be realized within this generation. All right, it says, all the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full unto the place from whence the rivers come. Thither they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. And so this is the reoccurring status of error that the world has been in since the world has been plunged into wickedness. All right, since the Garden of Eden. All right, and Eve beguiled Adam through the serpent with the tree of all knowing or knowledge, and ultimately leading mankind. All right, through the nation of the blessed lineage, I should say, at that point, what ultimately became the nation of Israel through the patriarchy of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, into the world of sin that we realize today. All right, but the actual Satan in the flesh, all right, who Satan works with spiritually in the flesh, all right. The Lord deals with so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Satan deals with so-called self-proclaimed Caucasians, all right, by base appearance, all right. And this is all a spiritual of spiritual importance, because depending on what spiritual nationality you are is going to determine at the end of the day what happens to you and your family, and more so yourself in this end time that we're moving into. All right. And so as we've seen it before, there's no new thing under the sun. All right. Esau tries to reduplicate the wheel, and his entertainment is failing. His society is failing with his bread and circus. There's no new thing under the sun. Everything's just being reduplicated on a mass scale. And your ears are not satisfied with or filled with hearing. In America, primarily, and then the influence of American culture on the world has basically developed an insatiable appetite amongst the earth, man. And this leads to every manner and manifold of evil, all right, in excess, all right, because things in excess are ultimately detrimental. All right, the scriptures teach us moderation. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai teaches us moderation. All right, these are all things that the world will come to know after Armageddon, after nuclear destruction. All right, in the world of righteousness, which will be led by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach and the 144,000, 12,000 righteous men from each tribe of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those things that shall come after. And this is the scriptural testimony to reincarnation. This is why we're able to interpret these scriptures in the correct format through the spiritual power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because there is spiritual power in those names. because that is the true creator of the world and the Son of Man, the King of all kings. All right. And they will return and regain the world, maintain the world by force. All right. They're going to be taking it from these self-proclaimed white people, but who are ultimately what the scriptures label as the nation of Esau, Edom. All right. These Edomites. And this is let's see, David, I believe. No. Solomon. Salak. All right. Let's see. And this is the king of Israel in ancient times prophesying about today and things that are relevant today that were relevant back then. And that's how you know the scriptures are law. You know, Esau Edom has basically hijacked the world with his false law. All right. His false judicial law system. All right. That we see in Esau Edom in America's courts and their democratic court systems, their judicial systems, where their false law is held supreme. All right. Over the law of God. All right. These are all things that are the reasons why the Lord is coming to recorrect the world that has been so farly led astray. All right. By these Edomites, man. And as we know in the scriptures, these Edomites are the children of perdition. You know, that we're taught that, you know, via the scriptures that they would bring about the end of times, at least the end of one world. All right. And then Jacob would follow shortly after these so-called Caucasians. All right. These Edomites. And that's so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So here it is. We're at the bottom of society in America and in societies around the world today. But, you know, the last shall be the first and the first shall be the last. You know, the Lord's going to do all these things, you know, not us, you know, because he's a righteous God and he deals in righteousness and righteous judgment. Solomon said, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, all his vanity and vexation of spirit. And, you know, back in that time, he had, you know, things of luxury, you know. Solomon, the son of David, or was a righteous man, but, you know, at the same time was tested. You know, we're all tested in this flesh, man, in this vessel. And we're tested in the spirit, you know, by the devil, all right, by Satan. And we're tested in this flesh, you know, for our faith, man. And you know what this comes down to is what we need to understand is there's no stability in America. There'll never be any stability in this country or in the world for that matter until Yahweh Shai comes back. And that's just the bottom line, man. And I can attest to this, you know, my own spirit, that there's just no harmony. You know, if you're an individual that wants to seek unto righteousness and seek unto a holy lifestyle, or you know, in our situation, you know, want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and I mean starting with the other apostles at Great Millstone on down, you know, America is never going to be for us, you know, and so that's something that we need to understand, is that as in the times before, when Solomon was king, you know, he experienced many different pleasures and things in life that ultimately didn't bring him any happiness, man. And what I'm getting at is that in this lifestyle, you know, with all these distractions in front of us, you know, throughout this whole chapter, you know, these Edomites and these so-called Jewish Amalekites, man, they're gonna try and distract us at every angle and every turn that they can, you know, to try and keep us from you know, visiting the scriptures or remembering to read our scriptures or remembering to you know, just keep the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, you know, because when we're in a position where we're keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, we're in power. with our Creator, Yahweh Shim Yao Shai. All right, and us just believing in this world coming to an end, and in a world where the heaven is on earth, as the Lord said, thy kingdom on heaven as it is in that is as it is in heaven as it is on earth. That will become a reality, man. All right. Let's see. And it says number 12, Ecclesiastes 2 and 12. And I turn myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly, for what can the man do that cometh after the king, even that which hath been already done? Then I saw wisdom excel folly, as far as light excel darkness. And this is what we need to, hone in on here, through the Spirit. The Lord directed me here. And so, but this is what it is, man. The folly of the world. Amalek's going to be throwing distractions in brothers' faces, giving brothers things that they normally, maybe didn't have access to before, or that they know brothers are, not very good at dealing with, like some brothers might struggle with temptations from women, or some brothers might struggle with temptations for, drinking. I know myself personally, I'll speak on myself. I'll sometimes get out of hand with drinking, or Esau have you not considering not eating pork, or something that'll have you off into some shit that has you back into the world. But we got to keep in mind that this place is not going to go on forever. Once you're an Israelite, there's no going back, man. This is for life. This is a family thing, man. There's no going back. All right. We're waiting for Yahweh Shim Yao Shai to wage war with America and Russia and China. All right. And forcefully restrain these nations in our favor, man. In our favor. And our would be the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He will make our enemies